Okay, what about now? Can everybody hear me? Hi there, can everybody hear me?
I,
Gary, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
I'm just waiting for the chat off somebody. Can somebody put a message in the chat box that they can hear me and Gerwin? Can everybody hear me? Yeah, I got one. Rob Hughes has just said he can hear me. Yeah, okay, they can hear us now, Gerwin.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, great, here we go. Okay, thanks everyone for attending our second sort of webinar. We've done the first one last Wednesday as a bit of a test. We had a few problems last week, but hopefully we can start moving forward now over the next few weeks with getting used to this new technology we're using. So yeah, we've got about 20 people, just over 20 people hooked onto the webinar tonight. So I'm hoping we can grow this into 30, 40, 50, up to 100 plus over the next few weeks. So if you can bring at least 2 or 3 people on every week, obviously that will help us grow with the Vital Angels business. Anyway, basically, I just went through a few minutes about myself. Basically, there's a lot of new people on tonight that obviously may know not much about me. So I'll just cover that quickly before I pass over to Gerwin, Doug, and them for the main presentation. I'll be in a couple of minutes' time. So basically, my name is Adrian Hibbert. I live in a place called, well, it's actually Sully in Vale of Glamorgan, just on the outskirts of Cardiff. There's some photographs there of me and my partner, Virginia, Charlotte and Laura, they're 18 and 14. And I've been with my partner for 9 years, basically, so I've known the kids since they were 5 and 9. That photograph there was taken with a Cardiff Bay background, so I do spend a lot of my time in Cardiff Bay, relaxing, having a few beers. So yeah, if anyone's in Cardiff, you know, get in touch with me, let me know you're in town, and yeah, we'll catch up. I'll buy you a drink, no worries. Yeah, so straight into when I left school, basically, I started off in a company called British Gas in 1986. I worked there for 10 years in a 9 to 5 situation. It wasn't a bad job, but I was on about £14,000 a year, and in that time, that was quite good money for just an office clerk. But after a few years in, 5, 6 years in, I started to get a bit bored of working the rat race, and basically started looking for other avenues of making money, and so I wanted to basically get out of the 9 to 5 situation. So in 1996, I actually got sacked for basically looking at free ad newspapers. It sounds a bit daft, this, and it's a bit of a joke, but I was caught actually reading free ads papers in the toilet. So I was always looking for other ways of making money even then, back in the early 90s. And but anyway, I got disciplined, I got sacked, and but kindly they did leave me off quite nicely with a nice £15,000 redundancy payout. So that was quite nice to walk away with. And they also give me a £3,000 payout, which I could use as training for any future position I took up. And with that £3,000, I used it to train as a driving instructor. I'm not sure if we've got anyone in the driving industry trade or any friends of that type of trade, but I passed out in 1996, and yeah, I was a driving instructor for 2 years, and I thought it was quite an easy job. I thought it might have been an easy job, but after 6, 9 months into it, it was quite a stressful job. And again, it was long hours, 9 o'clock in the morning till sort of 9 o'clock in the night. And for what I was getting paid, you know, around £12 an hour, by the time you take the petrol out and all the time involved, it wasn't really that lucrative as I thought. So I turned that into a taxi business in 1997. I saw a gap in the market where I lived in Sully. I bought 2 taxis, me and my partner, and yeah, we started driving taxis. We put a lot of leaflets out, and the phone started ringing. I started getting a lot of airport pickups, so I started doing anywhere between £15 and £20 an hour quite quickly for just doing, say, an airport fare or just a quick fare into town. So yeah, it was a lot easier a lot less stressful, and I was making more money as a taxi driver than a driving instructor. Time moved on around 1999 to the 2001. I was always interested in gadgets, so I set up a mobile phone business. I started basically buying all kinds of stock from up north. There was a massive markup at the time on mobile phone accessories. I could buy a mobile phone car charger for around 29 pence and sell it for 9.99. So you can imagine that markup, and that was a very lucrative business between 1999 and 2001. I was also unlocking phones, so there was a massive market then for, even still now, for people who had a phone who was just working on one network, say Orange for example. I would unlock the phone, open it to all networks, and then they could use any SIM card within the phone, and big profit, 20, 30 pounds a time, and there were many people queuing up for that type of service in those days. But basically, while all this was going on, property was always in my mind as the way forward, and for whatever reason, I just thought property was the best way to move. And in 1994, sadly, my gran died, and rather than put the house on the market for sale and sell it to sort of, basically through an estate agent, I decided to buy my gran's property and pay the money to my mother, basically. So I actually paid my mother £12,000 for the house she inherited through sadly my gran dying. But I didn't actually pay £12,000 for it. As you can see there, I just put a £1,200 deposit down, leveraged the rest, borrowed the rest, and then basically put a tenant in. I found a tenant and just cash flowed that property. I actually still own that property today, and that was purchased in 1994. I then bought a second property in 1996 for a bit more. That was a 3-bed semi with off-road parking. There was a slightly bigger property. I bought that with a 10% deposit, and that was £2,900 down. So as you can see, I don't buy things with cash. I leverage things, and I use as little as money as possible when I actually buy things. So from there on, I acquired another 36 properties very quickly between 1999 and 2007 using the same method, just putting small deposits down, 5 and 10% deposits, and then mortgaging the rest. And then most of my tenants were housing benefits tenants, around 70–80% housing benefits, and 20% were professional tenants. And I still own those properties as of today, and my income from property is now £5,000 every month. So that's still quite a nice income for me, and I actually live off that from month to month even now. In 2008, when the property market took a bit of a downturn, I decided to take a break, and I took a 2-year holiday, basically. I don't think many people are able to do that today, but I was luckily able to do that because of the cash flow I'd achieved through property. I could take that time off. So I moved to a place called Torrevieja. It's on the Costa Blanca south. Basically, you fly to Alicante, and it's a 45 minutes drive south of Alicante. You've got Benidorm 45 minutes north, and I was actually 45 minutes south of Alicante Airport, so I lived there for 2 years. And yeah, it was great. Well, the first 6 months were great. As you can see there, it's a bit of a joke there, but yeah, I was actually really enjoying myself in the first 6 months. Plenty of sangria, plenty of paella. I love the Spanish food, but basically too much of a good thing got to me in the end, and after 6 months, I got bored. So I started looking for work in Spain, and I got a job with Atlas International. That's one of the biggest property companies in Spain, and it's still trading now. And yeah, I was doing airport pickups and inspection trips, picking people at the airport, showing them around on a 3-day inspection trip, wining and dining them. Yeah, it was a great job, and basically selling them their dream home. So yeah, I fully enjoyed that. That was a great time. But also in the evenings then, when I was coming home from working with property with Atlas, I was also looking then for other alternative ways of making money online, because the internet, I started to take more interest online, sort of making money online through all the Google searches. In 2008, the internet started to sort of take off quite big then, and there were more people starting to come online. And basically, yeah, since 2008, yeah, I have been involved with a couple of businesses. I'll be updating my slides for next week just to sort of update you on those businesses. But basically, I was involved with the penny auction site back in 2010. I actually put €5,000 into that, well, $5,000 actually, and I actually made $157,000 back out of that. So that was a nice payout. I joined a banner advertising company shortly after that, and pulled out $57,000. And I've been involved in also a few sort of ad click, sort of banner click, revenue share companies. There's a number of different names for them, and yeah, I have made money in them. But yeah, they're around sort of today and gone tomorrow, so they were quite high risk programs. But I did have the money to play around with, to invest in these programs, and luckily they did pay off. But sadly, for a lot of people, they didn't pay off, and a lot of people did lose money in these type of programs. But I put a lot of these, or most of these, now to rest, and because since Viral Angels has come along, on just recently now on the 8th of May, I joined Viral Angels, and yeah, that's what we're going to. That's what I'm going to sort of concentrate on now. I'm very passionate about this business, very excited. I've actually put 5,000 euros of my own money into this. You don't have to do that, but that's just me, obviously. And my account has grown up to 16,100 even in the last 3 months in the increase of the shares that I've purchased. Just some quick examples here of the shares I've got in Viral Angel before we come on to the main presentation with Gerwin. A company called Origenics, that's a property company. When I actually joined this company back in June, as you can see the dates there, 2nd June, I caught the market just right, and the shares I acquired there profited by 100% in 1 day, as you can see on that spike there on that graph. A company called Trig Media, I got in here when the shares were basically just under 1 cent. As you can see there, they grew to 4 cents, so I had around 4 times my money on that transaction. There's a company called Eurobrands, that's an alternative cigarette company, again a part of the Viral Angels. They grew from 1 cent up to 6 cents in a few days. That's a 600% profit. A company called IQ Money, that grew 400%. And another company called New Motor Media, that's grown 582%. So I'm not saying I was lucky, but I actually joined these companies at a great time, and I caught this, well, the timing was just perfect for me. I'm not saying this is going to happen again in the next couple of weeks or months, but this certainly could happen in the next 6, 9, definitely 12 months with good times ahead with Viral Angels. So basically, yeah, what I'm here to tell you about today, now I'm going to pass over to Gerwin, and so he can explain to you in detail about the Viral Angels business, and we can then go through a quick Q&A, or you can leave some questions in the chat bar. I'll be taking notes of the questions, ready then to put to Gerwin towards the end of his presentation. There's my details there, but always obviously get back to the person who's introduced you to this webinar, and just give me a ring, text me anytime if you have any questions, and I'm always here to do any 3-way calls. 3-way calls are very powerful, and I can help you with that as well. So yeah, that's me done. Gerwin, are you there?
I am.
Okay, over to you, Gerwin, for the main presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, keep your mic on a second. I just want to make sure this is screen sharing.
Okay, yeah.
Can you see that?
Let me have a look. Just 2 seconds. Yeah, that's live, yeah.
Okay, marvellous. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And like Adrian said, my name is Gerwin from South Wales. And having a lot of fun driving around this area at the moment, because everything seems to be fenced off. The entire city seems to be living in a prison, which is interesting. Thank you to our friends Obama and the rest of them. But doesn't stop us building an internet business anyway, because we haven't got to go out. So what I'm going to explain to you is Viral Angels. I've been involved with this for 2 years and 2 months, and quite frankly, it's over the last sort of 12 months after we built her in, built her from scratch. The last 12 months have been pretty exciting, but it's the future which I'm more excited about with this, and I'll explain that to you as I go through it. So here we go. Right. What is Viral Angels? Well, it's a credit union, and it's a closed club of private investors. It was founded in 2012, like I just said, and it's operating in 17 plus countries, and we've got members in over 70 countries. And the main office is in Stockholm in Sweden, which myself and Adrian and some other guys in the team flying over there next Monday. for an open day. So that's going to be live on VA TV in the back office. So you'll be able to see what's going on over there, and it'll give us the opportunity to relate back to you with the operations of Viral Angels, and also the offices of Trig are in the same block. So that's going to be exciting stuff. So what does Viral Angels do? Well, it selects companies and takes a strong stockholding position in them. As an example, and I like to use this one because I know the figures on it. MyCab a few months ago, it's called MyCab International, which is a luxury taxi airport transfer firm, and Viral Angels acquired 10% of that company, and obviously they took it in shares, which was 40 million. Now, Viral Angels would have kept 20% of that 40 million, which means that 32 million shares, which is 80%, was allocated to the members. So we pay a membership fee, and on a weekly basis we get shares distributed to us, and they're always distributed on a Wednesday night between 11 and 11:30. So if there's anybody on this webinar tonight who's looking at joining, then joining on a Wednesday night is excellent, because within a couple of hours of joining, or even an hour if you join at 10:30, then you'll have your first allocation of shares. And they come in varying companies. Last week we had shares in a company called Arabasca, which is basically a company which has found an environmentally friendly way of taking or extracting oil sands in Alberta in Canada, which is a company which I'm very excited about. We had the opportunity to meet the CEO at the last meeting, and it's based in Cardiff, which is great. So obviously, being Welsh, it's bound to be a success. Sorry, ha. Okay, what it does is it increases the number of shareholders, it raises capital, and assists marketing for those companies. But this is where the crunch is. It prepares for an initial public offering, because what do companies need when they float? They need shareholders. If you're going to float a company on one of the main stock markets, then there's a criteria for how many shareholders they need, and generally it's around about 2,000 to float on the main stock market. So with Viral Angels 5,000 plus and growing very quickly members, then we give them what they want, which is stockholders. And also the company's got the expertise to help them go public very quick. And like, once again, Viral Angels stockholders are distributed as follows: 80% are allocated to the members, and 20% are retained by VA. Now, what do you get? You get for your membership. What do you get for your membership? You get free shares by weekly allocations, which take place on a Wednesday. If you are on a higher level, which I'll run through in a second, like Platinum, then you also get an option pool share allocation on the Saturday as well. So you basically can become a shareholder of hand-picked, promising companies before they're listed. And this is something which, and this is a story I'm going to use for forever, I think, because I was on the phone with somebody about 2 weeks ago, and they bought shares pre-IPO in a tour hire company, and they had them for less than a percentage of a penny each. And due to financial concerns, or even they needed the money, they sold those shares for £2,500. And if they'd waited, those shares they floated at £8 when they actually went on the stock market. And that is the point with VA. Even though you can trade your shares between members, as soon as you have them, if you want, then the aim of this is to wait for them to go public, because that's when the true value of the company will come out. Because when you're trading in the between members, then the price you pay in is the price which a member is willing to sell it to you at. So that's the thing. If you're looking at coming into this, look at it as a long-term savings plan, whichever way you want to look at this. But remember, to get the best out of this, wait for the companies to float. And I'm just every day I'm checking my emails now, because very shortly we're going to have an email with a massive company listing called Trig, which is listed on the Frankfurt stock market, and very, very excited about that. So there's no need for big personal capital. All you pay is a flexible, affordable membership that fits your budget, because there are companies which offer people investments in pre-IPO companies, but the one that I know in London, the minimum investment is £25,000, and that is out of reach for most people, and also you can't sell the shares before they list, so you're taking a bit of a risk with that. But once again, like they say in this, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. So you can choose a membership that fits your budget, and you trade shares when you want. There's no need to wait until they're listed. But the key to that is buy low and sell high, and that's what I've done over the last 8 months, is just increase the number of stocks that I got through trading. And like Adrian said, he's put in extra money into this. I personally haven't. I've just paid my monthly fee, and I've bought extra shares out of some commissions, and I've certainly done some trading to increase the number of shares that I've got. But if you wanted to put extra money in to buy shares, you can, but there's no need if you don't want to do that. So the memberships are silver. We don't recommend that because you get 25% of a gold allocation. Now I'm going to give you the difference, because if you're a gold, let's assume, and I'm making an assumption here, that if you've got 100 shares of gold, 100% allocation. So it's say 100% is at gold. So let's just count this as 100 shares. It could be 10, it could be 200. I'm just saying 100. If you was at platinum, you get 195, so the 120% more. But if you was at black diamond, as an example, you would get 1,668, which is 1,668% more shares than you would at a gold. So the amount of shares you get as you go up the packages are exponential. And I've just currently got up to a black diamond package myself, even though I've been on platinum or gold for the last 24 months. I'll give you a quick example. Like my sister, who's only ever paid €89 a month for 18 months. That's all she's ever done. She's not shared the business with anybody. She's never introduced anybody to it. But her portfolio is now worth over €7,000 if she wanted to sell it tomorrow. So that's a pretty good return on investment. And believe me, she's quite happy. She works in banking, and she's never seen anything like this herself. So as membership, for the membership, you get weekly share allocations. Once again, if you're going to join tonight, because you actually will get out of your first month, you'll get 5. Is it 31 days? Yes, there is. Yes. So you'll actually, if you join tonight, you get 5 allocations out of your first membership, which is tidy. You get access to the VA trading platform. You also get access to the VA bonus program, Viral Angels VA, if I abbreviate it. You get education and training through the VA TV in the back office, and also you can access a prepaid card from T24, so you can actually buy your shares. If you were selling or buying shares in the back office, you can and you make a profit. You can withdraw it to a T24 card, or you can withdraw it to your bank account. I've just had a withdrawal come through today of $3,500, which is quite nice, and that's paid direct into my bank account. For some, I put onto the card. It depends. So if I put it onto the card, it usually gets spent by somebody else. right. Okay. The normal way is find the right company. You need solid personal capital to make a lot of money out of the stock market. You generally need to have a lot of capital to start with. You certainly need a lot of knowledge and experience, because when people start asking me about share floating and assist in marketing and all this kind of stuff, it goes over the top of my head, because if I knew about that, I wouldn't be in VA. I'd be doing it myself. So that's why this is there for everybody who hasn't got any experience, really. But if you were doing it the normal way, you would need that knowledge and experience. And also, you have to wait until the company is listed to sell your shares. The VA way is VA will do it for you. It's an affordable monthly fee. There's no experience required, just like the majority of people who come into this just come into it and pay their monthly fee and receive their shares. And there's certainly no experience. and you can sell your shares anytime you want, even before the company's listed, even though we don't recommend that. Okay. Now, one thing which VA brought out a week last Friday was that we are licensed now a licensed broker, which means that when the shares go public, you haven't even got to transfer them into your own brokerage account like we used to have to do. Because I got a Barclays stockbroker account, so prior to this, if I wanted to trade a listed stock, I would have to transfer them to my Barclays stockbroker account, and every time I've done a trade, Barclays charged me £12 and a percentage of the trade as well. Well, now VA is its own brokerage, so you've got, if you have a look in the back office, you've got two types of offers. You've got just ad offer, which is the internal market for companies which have not floated yet, and you've got OTC, which means over-the-counter offer, which means that when, as an example, when Trig floats, you'll be able, if you wanted to sell some of your shares, or buy them, because once they float, you can't buy them off other members. You've got to, they've got to go onto the main market, and you would put an over-the-counter offer in, and those shares would be sold externally for you, and then your payments would go back into your VA back office. So there's no need to have a brokerage account if you don't want, but if somebody wanted to use Barclays or Interactive Investor or whatever, then obviously you could transfer your shares into that if you wanted to. And you know, what you've got here, especially now, is low share cost and certainly a high profit. And the market is only open for paying members of Viral Angels. Okay, so you can build your membership club, you can build your team, you can share the opportunity with other people. You invite new members, and you can watch your income grow, because you've got bonus in 5 levels, and it's all in real time. If somebody makes a payment, you get the bonus instantly, and that's great. You get a monthly bonus, leadership bonus, quarterly cash bonuses, annual leadership bonuses, special promotions, and bonuses in shares. And these bonuses mount up very nicely, and over the past couple of months, this has been, well, in absolutely incredible is the only way I can describe it. My sponsor, just his quarterly cash bonus alone was over 25 grand. That's 25,000 euros, and you know, that's not bad at 4 times a year, and that's on top of everything else. So you know, you want to reach the level of director or above, which the payment plan. Sorry, the career plan is actually in the back office underneath career, and you can see the way that that operates. So let me just take this as platinum. So if you come in as a platinum, it's going to cost 145 euros. But if you introduce a platinum, you get 15 euros. If that person introduces a platinum, you get 6. Then on level 2, you get 3. On level 3, you get 3. On level 4, you get 6. But if you was on a gold level and you introduce a platinum, you get 15. There's no buying up the levels. You know, if you was on a gold package and introduced a black diamond, you'd get 105 euros, which is great, because in a lot of these bonus structures, bonus plans, then if you want to have the top amount of income, then you have to pay yourself up there. Is what is it called? Pay to play, or whatever they call it. So it's this is very fair. It's very honest, and it's very simple to understand. So you can imagine that those bonuses can build up very, very quickly and very fast. Now, on top of that, you get a monthly bonus at senior manager, which is a turnover of 9,000 with 80 people in your team. You'd, on top of everything else, get 300. And once again, you can check the career plan in the back office, and as a president, you get a monthly bonus of 1,000 plus your 5 plus your 1.5 and all the rest of it. And I know that Joao in Portugal as a president, he earned 25,000 last month, which is excellent, because you get monthly leadership bonuses. So if you was a director as such, then you get 1% of the turnover of your team below level 5, because it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So even though it shows 4 levels on there, 4 is actually 5. So anything below level 5, you receive 1% on, and president you'd receive 2.5% on. So imagine as a president you had a turnover of 300,000 in 1 month, and you had a bonus of 2.5% of that. Then that's quite a lot. That's 7.5, I think, grand on just that particular bonus. And once again, like I was talking about, the 5% quarterly bonus as well, and then you got annual leadership bonuses, and you also get a certain amount of it in shares as well. So what you can expect to earn. Okay, as a manager, you can expect to earn around about 250 a month. As a senior manager, 750. Executive manager, 1100. Director, 3,000. And from the director above, that's when the income starts to go a bit crazy. But understand something, and this is what I want to make sure that people do understand, is however much money somebody makes from building the teams, it's absolute peanuts compared to what the stocks are worth. And that means that everybody got the same cut of the cherry, because I've been around this industry for 22 years, and I've built teams of over 15,000 distributors and 400,000 customers. And people say to you, you work hard for 2 to 5 years and you can have the rest of your life off. Well, quite frankly, it's bullshit, because it doesn't happen. I know very, very few network marketers who can build one business and then that business stays built. But look at it like this: Viral Angels is going to be capped, and they're talking about 25,000 members. And the other thing is when Trig launches, the management said that there's going to be between 40 and 60 millionaires made out of this, and that's in Swedish krona. So there's going to be between 40 and 60 Swedish krona millionaires being made out of this. And when we start promoting that out, then believe me, this thing is going to be viral angels. But the thing is, when they do cap it, because the company wants to give value, and if they start having hundreds of thousands of members, then they're going to be they can't be so picky as to what companies they take on for us. And that means when it does reach the peak, if somebody leaves, then they've got a queue to come back in. So there's going to be a waiting list, and we're a while off from that yet. We've got just over 5,000 paying members, but when that gets to the point, you will have true residual income coming from teams, because people will not leave. Because even if something like my father is in this business, and he's been paying his platinum membership, and he's got over 10K in shares. Now he's not somebody who ever wants to build a network. He's too old, and but he's really likes this, because it gives him something to look at every day. Oh, look what they're worth now. He's an absolute pain, by the way, because he doesn't understand it, but that's not the point. But it'll give somebody a long-term income with the shares and with the residuals. So I hope that makes sense, because realistically, after years and years, when I first joined network marketing in 1992 with an American soap company, they were all saying, "Oh, you work 2 to 5 years, you can stop working." All I knew is when they reached the top level in it, they seemed to be working a lot harder. And the incomes which we're talking about, or the share bonuses which we're talking about here, are life changing, because like to say, network marketing will make you a lot of money, shares will make you stinking rich, and that is the way that I'm looking at this, and there's something in it for everybody. No, I don't believe anybody could lose, because the value that they're getting for their monthly membership. So in a lot of programs I've seen over the last couple of years, people lose, people win. Unfortunately, there's more losers than there are winners. In this, everybody wins, which makes it fair, and that means that I can promote it to my family and my son and my daughter without thinking, oh, they might possibly lose some money because they got in too late. Even the last person who joins number 24,999 who joins this business is still going to make money from the shares, right? And obviously then, as people leave, they can still then build their business. But once again, we're probably a while off that yet, within a year. But there we go. So being one of the first in a new worldwide business is very rare. This is completely unique. It's use your chance and start making money now, and certainly, if you're going to join tonight, because that will give you a good start. So, like it says there, if you're not inside, you're outside. So we will answer any questions now. Adrian, do you want to come back on?
Yeah, can you hear me going?
I can, but I can't see any questions. You're going to have to read them to me.
Yeah, I've just put a question in the chat bar.
I can't see it.
No, you can't see it. No, so I've just put a question in the chat bar. Has anyone got any questions? Basically,
I can't answer that question because I don't know.
I'm just waiting to see if there's any questions.
The question is, has anybody got any questions? Well, I can't answer that question. I'm sorry.
What you can do, Garen, if you want, is go into this new. This is a question from me, and obviously the new payment structure, the new bonus plan that's happened over the last few days.
Okay.
Do you want to quickly explain that? And regards to anyone joining after the 18th of August, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone they sponsor, they get double the allocation of shares. Is that correct?
Sorry, I just kicked myself out.
You back in?
Aye.
You back in?
Yes.
Yeah, anyone that's joined after the 18th of August, so basically if anyone sponsors somebody tonight, that new person that joins, as long as they pay 3 months consistent payments, they get double the allocation of shares. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and the person doing the sponsoring, they also get 50% extra allocation of the shares.
Correct.
Right. When do they actually get those shares? Straight away or in a couple of months' time?
After 3 months, because it's based on 3 months.
After 3 months, okay.
Yeah. All right. Let me share the screen again. I'll run through it.
Yeah.
Are people still on here? It's very quiet.
No, it's all live. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see that?
I can see that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Basically, what we got coming up over the next couple of weeks is the windfall. It's called a windfall build-up, and the company's put an incentive in place to help you sponsor. It actually started on the 15th of August, not the 18th. We got it backdated 3 days because so many people signed up on that weekend to give them an opportunity to qualify for it as well. So the aim of this is to help people go to the manager level, which is 4,500 turnover, and you need 2 senior traders in 2 separate lines and have 8 front lines, I do believe. Okay, so to be an active, to order to participate in this, and this particular windfall build-up, remember, don't confuse them. This is building up to another campaign in the starting on the 1st of October, and that campaign is going to divide 5 million euros worth of shares between the participants. And as an example, the last campaign we ran, there was 30 of us in it, and they divided a considerable amount of money up between us. So it's well worth looking at this. So you need to be an active member with a gold membership or higher on a monthly subscription. In other words, if somebody comes on a normal subscription and they miss a day, they've missed it. So people need to be on a monthly. They cannot start and stop it. So if they're going to qualify for it, they need to be on a not miss a payment. If they did it on a gift card or a bank wire, then they need to make sure that they've got that sorted before their membership expires. Go on.
So could they actually pay 3 months membership in advance just to secure them on that?
They can, but they're still not going to get their extra shares. All right, like it says there, a membership renewed on the 15th of September needs to stay active until the 15th of December in order to receive the bonus shares. Okay?
Right.
Okay, and then they'll receive the bonus shares. So they're not going to pay and then have the bonus shares because they could cancel their monthly subscriptions, and obviously, they don't need to be active.
Well, what I mean is, if somebody pays 3 months in advance on the 15th of September,
yeah,
they just guarantee that their credit card's not going to blip.
Yeah, if they wanted to do that, they still won't get their shares, their free shares until after the 3rd month.
Yeah, they get their shares after the 3rd month, but they guarantee their payments are safe, and they'd rather than miss a payment.
That's right, yeah. So anyway, you have to have your approved KYC no later than the 30th of September to participate in the windfall. And once again, you need to, like I said, you need to be manager. I just covered that. The membership renewed, right? Okay. Allocations will be made once the payment has been processed and the KYC has been approved, and the shares will be locked until the end of the 3-month campaign period. Okay. Does that make sense? So they will actually put them in your back office. You just can't do anything with them. Okay. Once all the qualifications have been met, the shares will be unlocked immediately. So if somebody, because it's going to go month to month, so you'll have a certain amount in month 1, a certain amount in month 2, and a certain amount in month 3, and they'll be in different companies as well.
So if somebody gets allocated 100 shares tonight, for example, they'll get another 100 shares, but they'll be locked for 3 months. Correct. Yeah.
They won't get them tonight. They'll get them at the end of the month.
Right. Okay.
All right. So and that just covers that again. So the allocation rules, and that includes people who upgrade. So if you actually upgrade to a platinum, then you will be qualified for those shares as well. If you're already a platinum, then you'd have to upgrade to a ruby, okay, or go into the next one to actually qualify for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if I'm a platinum as we speak, but I'm upgrading to emerald now on the next month.
Yeah. So you'll get emerald allocation then.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The level that will count is the one as the starting one is the membership paid for the latest before the end of September. Okay. So in other words, if your renewal is up on the 2nd or the 3rd of September, and you renew as a gold, that is what will count. It'll count as a gold. It won't, because even if you decide to upgrade halfway through the month, you know that it won't start until the gold membership has finished. Okay. So in case of a member asking for a refund connected to the bonus shares will be forfeited and returned to Viral Angels Credit Union. The same rule applies for payments of new membership, and that's why they're not going to release them until the last. All right.
I just got a quick question of Anne Quinn. She's saying, can you just explain the extra 3 special and the special 3 allocations?
Which ones?
Yeah, that's all she said. Yeah, if you want to add to that, Anne. But basically, Gary, because I've upgraded from, just using my example, I've upgraded from platinum to emerald. Yeah. I don't get the double allocation of shares, do I?
No, you'll get 50%. As
long as I've upgraded.
Yeah, an already existing, this is all in the back office, right? It's fairly straightforward. All right, an already existing active member will receive 50% of their membership fee in extra allocations for 1 month when renewing its membership on the same level or upgraded level. The minimum level is gold, right?
So basically, it's worth somebody thinking about upgrading then before which date?
Before the 30th of September.
September, yeah.
All right, but they'd have to do it before their next payment went out, because obviously if they as a gold and then they're due to pay on the 10th of September, if they don't change their payment until the 10th of September, then it'll still take a gold, so they haven't upgraded. Right?
And this extra bonus allocation will go on for as long as the campaign is going to last, is it?
That's right, yeah. But the aim of this is to help people. The aim of this in the short term is to help people go manager. By giving their new frontline members.
Just to put people in the picture with regards to myself, I've just gone manager, haven't I?
Yes.
I'll be allocated so many shares from the company now, at some time in the future. Is it 1st of October?
What, for going manager?
No, I get allocated some shares. Obviously, we don't know the amount, but where I can then pass these shares on to the people in my team, can I?
No, that's going to be anybody who's at the manager level will be offered the opportunity to take part in the Windfall campaign.
Yeah.
All right. So it depends. Whatever level you're at, it's like if you're a manager, then you'll be given a certain criteria. If you're a senior manager, you'll be given a bigger chunk, but you'll have to do more. All right, if you're a director, obviously there'll be more, but you'll have to do more as well. So,
and are those shares to help motivate people on your front line, or on all the way down?
Whoever's a manager. It's whoever's a manager. You are not going to be handed a bunch of shares to give out to people. All right. Every manager will have a separate agreement.
Right.
And then the campaign will run then from the 1st of October for the people who go manager before the end of September.
But I can help motivate people in my team with my share allocation.
Yeah, of course, if that's what you wanted to do. I certainly done it last time, and I'm talking about a lot of shares. So
yeah. So can I help motivate people only on my front line or my second and third lines?
Anywhere anywhere as a manager.
Anywhere.
Yeah, as long as they're a manager. That's the point. That's the point of this windfall, is to help people go manager by giving an incentive to the people they're bringing in as well as themselves. Does that make sense?
I can motivate other managers in my downline.
Yes, absolutely. We're just looking for people to be promoted to manager now next month as quickly as possible. Okay, because like I said, the last windfall or the last campaign we run like this. For Trig, every single person who qualified for it is like basically, when Trig floats, going to be a krona millionaire. So you're looking at a tremendous amount of incentives or a tremendous amount of stocks to bring in. So that is basically that, right? It's fairly straightforward. I don't want to cover this anymore because all you've got to do is go and read this underneath.
Okay then, do you mind logging into your back office, Garen? Iva's got a question. He wants to know, can you just show people the how to navigate around the KYC and little things like that? Okay.
Right. Mine's obviously already approved. So you click KYC. Now this is important because I've been doing this all day today for people, and some people were having difficulty. When you're actually doing this, because it's so regulated, they're very, very strict. They're very strict. This isn't like a normal rinky-dink company, right? They have to be spot on, otherwise the brokerage and the institutions and the licenses won't accept them. So the bottom line is your passport has to either a passport or a driving license. If it's a driving license, it has to be front and back. Okay, if it's a passport, it has to be fully opened, all right, with your picture and the other page scanned. Okay, so it can't just be the picture page; it's got to be the whole thing opened up. Then you've got to send a copy of a utility bill or a bank statement or a tax form or whatever, as long as it's got an amount of money on it. It has to show that you've got X balance or whatever on it. And that has to be, if it's a bank statement, it has to be your full name. It can't be Mr. D. Jones. It's got to be Mr. David Jones. Now, obviously, that's for somebody called David Jones. But you have to have your full name on it. And it has to be within 3 months. If it's not, it'll be rejected. And there's no point getting upset about it, because that is just the way. If it's approved, by the VA staff, then as soon as it goes to the bank, they'll check it out. So it's got to be done. It's got to be done correctly, and excuse me. And that's important. So you just upload that as normal. Does that make sense? It says it on there.
Yeah.
All right, I've had a situation where somebody's passport is in a different name to their bank account because they've just got married and they don't want to change their bank. They don't want to change their passport just yet, right? And in that case, then we have to copy the marriage certificate next to a bank statement.
Mm.
Okay, so there's ways around it, but because obviously some people do change their surnames. Okay, but
right.
All right. So anyway, that's the KYC. Right. Let me start at the top on this. Right.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, you've got membership levels. This explains in detail. You've got to go down the columns here. All right. So if you take this one, beginner, which is 100% share allocation. All right. So once again, if you're a gold, you got 100%. Now this is 120% share allocation, which means that if you're a platinum, if you had 100 shares at gold, you get 195.6, which is 120% more than gold. And at this, you get 150%. So at diamond, you get 1,168, which is a share allocation multiplier of 150%. So basically, it's the higher the package, the more shares you get. So that gives you some sort of idea of what we're talking there. You've got listed companies here, and as an example, if we just take Arabasca, then you can read up about Arabasca. You can download the presentation, the pre-IPO presentation, and read up on what the company is doing and checking it out. All right, and you can do that with read what they're doing. There was something on BBC News today about Amazon doing their first tests on drone deliveries. And so if you want to check that out on BBC News today, that's talking about the future. They reckon that they're about 5 years away from actually getting the deliveries done. And I don't know how they're going to manage if somebody lives near an airport. You wouldn't want a drone flying in front of a Boeing. but this looks like it's going to be very profitable share for us, because aerial drones is one of the biggest European manufacturers, which is great. And we got shares in that. There's Best of All Worlds, which is a high-end social media network. That's got several write-ups in some French newspapers recently. It's very big in France, that is. And Frantrack I absolutely love, because this is just going to, and once again, you want to read up on this. You've got a PowerPoint presentation there, which you can download. And if you come along to the meeting on the 5th of October, then Fantrack will be there, along with the drones, and they're actually bringing a drone. So that's going to be an opportunity to have to play with the remote control drone or whatever they are. So that's good. And so you can read up on these. If it says OTC, that means it's over the counter. So let me go into e-marketplace, right? So as an example, if you wanted to add an offer, all right, then this is an over-the-counter offer. So basically, when Trig floats, it'll move from the normal offer into there, and say I wanted to sell, right, at that point, I'd sell real point, and I want to sell 100,000 of them, right, as an example, and I just put my share price, and that is then sold externally. That's sold on an external market. Any companies which haven't floated, just put add OTC offer. You want to say you wanted to buy, right, choose company, number of shares I want to buy, say 500. I'm going to put an offer in to buy at 0.18, right, add offer. Okay, so just give you an example. So 0.18 there, 500. Show if I wanted to cancel that and click delete. All right, so let's see if that goes pretty quick by the end of this. All right, so now I got an extra 500 Trig shares there, which is great. So you've got in here you've got your network. And you've also got the career plan. In the career plan, that is where you're aiming for. If you're not there already, is manager, and that is basically having 8 front lines, 40 team members, 4,500 turnover in 2 lines. You've got senior trader, which is having 5 front lines, 10 team members, 1,150 turnover with 1 line as a trader. Okay, so you aim at it. That, believe me, anybody who's been in this business as long as I have, then you're going to, when you know about it, well, you're going to...
That is not hard to achieve, is it?
No, not really. But when you see the incentive that you're going to have by being a manager, obviously it'll be a certain amount of work to do in the following 3 months, but you have to be a manager to get in the first, to actually be part of the main incentive, which is going to be mind-blowing. Now, let's assume that you've got holdings there. You can check that out. You've got payment history. So if somebody wanted to upgrade, you just go down there. You can change subscription. You can deactivate subscription. Right? You can do whatever you want. All right. You can check your payment history and your membership. All right. Whatever you want to be on. You've got ongoing campaigns, which is Windfall. So you can read up about that if you do.
Just let me interrupt you there for 2 seconds. While you're on that page there with the Windfall, and Quinn has just rang me. Can you just explain our last slide on the Windfall there, the extra promotions tools?
That one?
That's the one, yeah. Can you just explain what that means? Because I'm struggling to understand this as well.
That's only for people above. This is the extra leadership pool, right? Which means if you're high at the moment, you can have the offers on a certain amount of front line. See, 3, yeah. Okay. All right.
Right.
When this is for people who have moved up to the higher levels.
So when you're a senior manager, then I'm a manager at the moment. When I'm a senior manager, I receive 1 additional exclusive membership to offer. That means a total of 4 exclusive membership. What does that mean?
That means, right, you've got, if you read that where it says, each member will be able to offer 3 exclusive memberships to their frontline contacts.
Yeah.
These exclusive membership offered may be used for directly invited members only, right? Those memberships will receive an additional 100% of the fee and allocation for 1 month, right? But you're only allowed to have 3. So 3 of the people that you bring in on a front line can have an extra 100% on top of what they're getting, but only for 1 month, right?
Right.
Okay. So all your front lines will get this. All right. Where is it?
Yeah, all new front lines are getting 100% anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. But once you've reached the extra promotion, right, you'll be able to have more. All right. So if you're a senior manager, you'll be given one additional exclusive membership offer. You can choose who it's going to be, basically.
So you have to get the senior manager for that first.
For that, yeah. But you still got the promotional levels on all your front lines anyways. But they're just going to give you, you can pick up to 3 people, all right, who will receive an extra 100%.
And that's 3 people on your front line.
On your front line, yeah. Only on front line. But if you're at the higher level, then you'll receive an extra 1. If you're executive, you'll receive an extra 2. Okay. All right. See, so if you get an extra 2, you'll be able to have 5. If you're a senior manager, you'll be able to have 4, and everybody else can have 3. So in other words, if you've got 3 people who are going to do, extra work, then you say, right, okay, you can have an extra 100%.
So it gives you an incentive then to work with your front line only. This, isn't it?
Yeah, it gives you an incentive. Yeah, but it gives also the people who you're going to bring in who want to build the business more incentive as well, because they're going to get an extra 100% on top. All right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answers the question, Anne. I'm sorry I can't read the questions. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's fine. We can always have a 3-way call with Anne anyway tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. Look, I don't want to complicate this, right? Basically, anybody you bring on in your front line is going to get an extra 100%, right? You can then pick 3 people who will be given an extra 100%, and if you're higher level, you can pick another 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah. So
that's an extra 100% on top of the 100% then, basically.
Yes. Yes. An 100% just means an extra month's allocation. Yeah. That's all it means. You can't say 100% and 100%. So if somebody gets 100 shares, then they'll get 200 instead. They'll just get an extra 100% on top. If they're if they're one of your exclusive memberships, then they'll get 300%.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And once again, let me not complicate this. This windfall is in place purely to help you or everybody go manager before the windfall starts, which is on the 1st of October.
Yeah.
And details about that will be announced in, around about the 27th, 28th of October, and then we'll be explaining what to do then on the 5th of October. But it'll be based around memberships and whether or not you get. If it's the same as last time, it's just going to be based on numbers and levels. Okay. All right. So if you wanted to, you can make payments for other members out of your cash account. All right, so you just put their email address in there. All right, and just click and you can pay for that there. All right. Okay, so I know I'm running through this quick, but I don't like to do webinars for over an hour, otherwise people get bored.
That's right.
All right, so
just one quick question for me then. Apparently, am I correct in saying there's 4 new companies coming on in the next 4 months?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You have no idea where they are, obviously, yet. No idea.
No, but I'll know the same as everybody else, and I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not privy to that kind of information. All right, so.
And obviously, the big question, Trig Media, that's possibly looking to float in the next few months or few weeks. Do you think?
I'm just waiting for the phone call, mate. All right, and it's going to. There was an interim report out. If anybody wants to go and check it out, it's on Trig Corporate. So if you just go to the Trig Corporate site, then it's got the interim report, and it basically says in there that once this report has gone through, then the Swedish Financial Authority will stamp it, and it'll be floating within 48 hours. So could be any time.
Okay. Well, we're on the hour.
And that is my opinion. That is based on what I read in the Trig in the actual Trig Corporate website. Okay.
Okay, that's great. Anyway, we got over 20 people on this. It's really just over 20, and roughly the same as last week. But so it's a good idea if every person just brings at least one person on next week. That's a bit of a goal setting or challenge, isn't it? But that would work quite nice to get the numbers up to 30 or 40 going.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, we got the webinar on Sunday, and this week Anders is going to be doing it. So you'll have the top guy doing the webinar on Sunday.
Yeah, that's worth looking forward to.
And then we got, obviously, the meeting coming up on the 5th of October. I know it's a while away, but that is well worth booking in for because, like I said, as soon as a lot of us, including myself, are just waiting for Trig to float. And when it does, the company's delivered something massive and something special. And then this is going to go ballistic.
Mm.
I want to be. Why do I like this? Number one, I believe it's going to be around a long time, and I think after I bet a lot of the guys on here have been in the industry a long time, and you get into a company, you build a business, and something goes wrong, and then you got to start again, and you build again, and then something goes wrong, and then you build again, and then you get fed up with it, or you don't like the industry. It's like, or you don't like that particular product, or whatever, and you build again, and sooner or later you get tired. And I'm seeing this, and I want to build this, and just that's it.
Hmm.
That's it.
Well, most people that don't want to build it, it sounds daft, but they can just become a saver, can't they? And 70% of people are just savers within this business, aren't they?
Absolutely, 70% are savers, and that once again goes back to what we were saying, is that everybody in this can benefit, not just the builders. Everybody gets an incentive. I would never have put my son and my daughter into anything I've ever done before, but I know that this is something which they can make a nice little amount of income from.
Yeah.
And all the time I say to people, don't sell your shares. Don't sell your shares. Who do you think went and sold their shares? My son. And after I've given him a good telling off, but he's quite happy. He's paid for his holiday, But he's only sold a percentage of them. But the fact that he's been paying for, well, I think my son's been paying for about 15 months, and he sold 20% of his Trig shares, and as well as covering his all the monthly fees that he's paid, it's also giving him a big lump of money in his pocket as well. But like I said, if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. So the bottom line is, my son have had a completely free membership and some money, and he's still sitting on 80% of the stocks.
Yeah, and your stocks have grown to around just short of 300,000. Is obviously it's taken 2 years to get to that, but there's no reason why we can't achieve that within 6 months. Now the way it's growing, can we?
The way that it's going, then we're going to have. See, one thing which I got to say, and I forgot, is that when we first started, the companies which we had weren't particularly that good because we didn't have the numbers. What good there was 400 of us and 500 of us, and then it slowly crept up to 700 of us. But that's no good. That was no good to anybody because there wasn't even enough members to help them go on an IPO. So we had a lot of the companies which we had weren't sort of first class. But as soon as this went over 2,000 members last year, then the game changed completely, because then you had serious companies looking at Viral Angels, wanting to work with Viral Angels. The bigger this gets, the bigger the companies that we're going to have. So the first year was an absolute pain in the arse, excuse my French, right? An absolute pain, because we didn't really have anything to show. But now we got so many different companies on board, and so many different real good companies on board. Then the next year, the next 6 months is going to just explode, because we've done the groundwork.
Yeah.
We've been through the been through the pain, and we're out the other side, and very, very strong.
And we're off to Stockholm ourselves. Me, you, and James, isn't it, on Monday?
We are indeed.
So
feel sorry for us, guys, all the people who live near an airport which actually goes somewhere other than Alicante, which Cardiff does.
Yeah.
So we've actually got to leave Wales at about 1:30, 2 o'clock to drive to Stansted, to park the car, to catch a plane at 6 o'clock, to get there at 10 o'clock, to go to a meeting at 3 o'clock. And then obviously, if anybody's ever been to Sweden, they do like a bit of a party, so it's going to be a 3 o'clock in the morning job. and then we
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, meeting the CEO, Tony Norman, and obviously all the staff involved. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, just take 20 cans of Red Bull with him.
Okay, yeah. Okay, is that it, Gary? Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Unless there's any more questions, we can babble on forever.
That's right. We're 10 minutes over now, anyway. So yeah, that's fine. Thanks for that, Gavin. And we said we'll do this every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. There's also the normal webinar on Sunday at 8 o'clock. So yeah, if you can get the numbers up for next week, just keep plugging the webinar throughout the week. You've got the link. It's the same link you can use every day, basically. So keep plugging the link and get people here for next Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
And certainly, Adrian, if you can email out the Sunday link, the webinar box which Viral Angels have provided for us holds 5,000 attendees.
All right.
Right, so they've paid a considerable amount of money for that. So, we want to try and pack that out. Well, I don't think we're going to have 5,000 people on a webinar next week, but we certainly got the tools there to do it. But with Anders doing it, he'll, obviously he's in the company, so he's got a lot more up-to-date information than I have, because everything.
Anders is doing it on his own on Sunday. Is he on his own?
Yeah, because all the information I pass on to you is what comes from emails or on the press releases, because obviously we want to stay as accurate as possible on every piece of information that we got.
Right. Okay then, Gary. Thanks everyone.
No worries. Catch you later.
Next Wednesday, same time. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.